46, March 28th, 29th.
Today, from the hit drama Grey's Anatomy, Jessica Capshaw. Plus, she's Alice in the new series Alice and Jack, Andrea Riseborough. Also, check out the new family card as we wrap up Live's Auto Week. All this on Live. Here are Kelly Ripa and Mike Consuelo. Everybody, it's March 29th, 2024. It is Good Friday, the holy day of Good Friday. And since it is Friday, we won't be here tomorrow for your birthday.
Yeah. So no cake.
No cake. That makes me very sad.
It's okay.
I know, but it's your first birthday here as the host, and I feel like we should have done
like
a big
every day
thing.
is my birthday here.
Oh, that's true.
Every day is my birthday.
Yes, every time we play Stump Mark, it's like a birthday party. So anyway, so Gelman brings me this breaking news because we discussed it about the Titanic door. You know, the door from the movie Titanic. The prop door that we all know Kate Winslet could have slid over and made room for Leonardo DiCaprio on.
Or not.
We've discussed this, debated. No, don't say or not. 150%. I've watched the movie 1,000 times, and I am now more convinced than ever that yes, that was a two-person door, and with our family, we could have gotten it.
The whole family.
It wouldn't have sunk. Sturdy wooden door. That's a floater. That door was a floater if ever there was one. Anyway.
Okay, listen up, you stupid fucking bitch. It wasn't a door. It was a fucking piece of wood. It was a prop from a fucking fake wall on the boat in the movie.
Discuss this.
Do your research.
No. Don't say or not. 150%. I've watched the movie 1,000 times.
It's not about whether you watch the movie.
I am now more convinced than ever that yes, that was a two-person door, and with our family, we could have gotten it.
The whole family.
It wouldn't have sunk.
It wasn't
Sturdy wooden door. That's a floater. That door was a floater if ever there was one. Anyway, the winning bidder for the Titanic prop door is going to the Titanic museums in Branson, Missouri, and Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which means Mary Kellogg
Here.
bought the door.
Yeah.
Mary Kellogg, who used to work here and did very well for herself.
Yeah. Museums are very successful.
Her Titanic museums are very successful, and she was the winning bidder of the door.
Maybe during the summer, they can bring it up here.
Oh, maybe we can have it.
And we can have a pool. And
we'll put Jack and Rose on the door.
Put Jack and Rose on the door.
I don't know if they want to wet the door, but you know, it was in the
already
water
wet.
anyway.
Yeah, it was already wet.
That was prop water.
It's a fake anyway.
Yeah.
It's a fake.
What is prop water,
I don't
Calvin?
know. Maybe a special effect.
Water
Maybe
that's
it
not
wasn't
wet?
Really.
No, I watched.
That was before special
We
effects.
all saw the making of the movie. They were in that floating tub
it
of
looked
water.
miserable.
Yeah, they say it was a miserable shoot. And again, I still say they both could have fit on that door. And I'm not wrong.
You are wrong. You're very
I'm
fucking
gonna talk
wrong.
to Mary about it.
You're very
Get
fucking
you two
wrong.
on there.
Oh, we
We
could
can get
fit
on
on.
there.
We could fit on that door.
They fit on it.
I would definitely have slid over for sure, 100%.
Yeah, we could have had the whole family, like you said.
Yeah.
40% of Americans turn to social media for yard inspiration, the survey says. I guess
What does that mean?
you know, you can go on social media, and they also just prop up in your feed. There'll be a beautiful outdoor kitchen, or a new awning for your backyard. Just gives you ideas for things that you want to do.
How come this stuff never pops up in my feed?
It pops up in my feed, and because I follow a lot of architectural type of things, But you know what really?
Of course he does, because he's bougie.
The one that I really like is that there's it's not a specific one, but you'll see an overgrown yard. You know that yard in the neighborhood where they haven't mowed their grass in years, and it's just a disaster. And this guy goes up to the front door and he says, "Hey, do you mind if I clean up your yard for free?
No,
just as long as I can post it on social media." And
this is an account?
Well, yeah, I guess it is an account.
Okay.
And he does time lapse where it's super fast. And he's just mowing the grass and edging. Oh,
you find that so satisfying. Yeah,
very satisfying.
He's gonna bone it right
driveway.
I feel bad that you live in New York City. You don't get to edge anything.
The edges are so beautiful. I mean, it goes for overgrown with weeds, and then he goes, "Grr," and he has a blower, and he blows it off, and then it turns into this beautiful yard. So satisfying.
And no one hires him? He doesn't do it for money?
There is a viral flight hack that's blowing our minds.
Okay.
Do you know, so when you go to the airport and you're like, I wonder if it's going to be on time, especially in the summer, the later the flights are out of the New York airports. Yeah.
I never wonder that because Mark makes sure we're there between 5 and 8 hours before our flight takes off. So I never sit in fear of I wonder if we'll make our flight. I know that no matter what happens, no matter
we're gonna be on time.
What bus accident, train derailment, it doesn't matter. We'll make our flight.
Military precision. We are there on time.
We're not there on time. We're there hours ahead of time.
Yeah. If you're on time, you're late. If you're hours ahead of time, you're on time. But there's a viral hack. You put in, let's say, the name of the airline plus the flight number. You text it to yourself. Just text it or tell somebody text it, and it comes up. It'll say on time, the flight, what time is it supposed to leave, what time is it supposed to land. So you can have it right there for you. So the name of the airline and the flight number. Yeah.
Well, do you need a viral hack for that?
Well,
isn't that on your ticket?
No. It'll update.
You're on time.
It'll update whether it's on time or not.
Oh, I see.
But you still have a ticket?
Yeah, I mean, I have the ticket on my phone, but I sometimes like you know me, I like a paper ticket printed out. I like that. Shut up.
Wasting paper.
I don't want to hear it. It comforts me.
No, I love
and I have a certain amount of there's very little things I have left. My good old paper ticket that I can give to the flight attendant reassures me that nothing bad will happen to me on the plane.
I know. I love the ticket on your phone when it says add to your wallet. Yeah. I love that I have a wallet on my phone.
And then I have to hand you my phone and I'm add this ticket to my wallet.
Yeah,
because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, you just go add.
Yeah, but sometimes they you have to put your screen brighter, won't read it.
Yeah, God, screen brighter won't read it. Oh.
He goes to that line and he scans his thing and I'm I'm getting my paper ticket because I don't trust that thing. So, a little bit, if you're unfamiliar with this show, and I pray that you're not, otherwise you're very confused as to why you're here. I'm a little obsessed with twins.
A lot
it's
obsessed.
Not a secret.
Yeah.
I love twins. I love
we love adult twins. Adult twins.
God, I love adult twins so much because twins are
identical twins.
Twins are when they're little. Are there identical twins here? No, you're just rooting for them. Anyway, a mom who is a twin. She gave birth to a second set of twins at a hospital. Okay, so the odds of that happening are around 3% of the population.
Two sets of twins.
A twin mom delivered her second set of twins with the help of medical professionals who also happen to be, wait for it, twins. Yeah. So the Cone Health shared this incredible birth story on its website. Angelia Tutt also always wanted a big family. She comes from a family of 8. She has a twin brother, so that her mother also had a second set of twins. So she had a set of twins, and she had a second set of twins. But the hospital staff, the doctor was a twin. One of the nurses were twins.
Wow.
It's really incredible. The reason I bring all of this up is because we do all sorts of things here that revolve around Mark's interests.
And happiness.
Oh, yeah.
What's
Are
it
we
gonna take?
ever, in all of the decades I've worked here, cover or be into anything?
You did the
I'm
ballet
into?
thing. We did you broke a record of
We want to
the
see
ballet,
something.
toe things. You guys did that. On point. In point.
Yeah.
You did that.
For Guinness World Record.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
That was
one
cool.
thing in 24 years that I like. But this is exciting. This is just pure joy for me.
Yeah.
We are doing a show dedicated to adult twins.
I get it.
Not just adult twins, identical adult twins.
Yeah.
The Property Brothers will be here. Nikki and Brie Garcia will be here.
Yeah.
Plus, the entire audience will be filled with identical twins
Wearing the exact
dressed
same
as one
clothes.
another.
Oh, wow.
So if you and your twin want to join our New York audience on Wednesday, May 15th, go to our website for tickets.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're twins that have children that are twins,
Are you playing games? Oh, yeah. What kind of games? Like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
and if you have a twin and you have a child, if you're a twin and you have children that are twins, we'll put you in the front row. And even best, I would love it if you are a twin and you and your twin both have children of the same gender that look alike, but they're not brothers or sisters, they're cousins. So if you are two twin ladies and you both have a son and your sons are around the same age and they look alike because they both have, moms that look alike, I'll give you $50 for one lunch that you could split 4 ways, but it'll really be 2 ways, like osmosis. That's what Mark is thinking.
We're going to play like...
Guess the number. What am I thinking?
Right, exactly. We're going to pinch each twin and see who feels it. It's going to be very exciting. Before we get to the billboard today, in a feel-good story, and this is a feel-good story. Look at this baby hedgehog that was rescued.
Oh.
Yes. Wildlife Rescue took in this baby hedgehog and they brought it to the Lower Moss Nature Reserve and Wildlife Hospital by this well-meaning rescuer last week. And upon arrival, they discovered that the hoglet was in fact the top of a hat. Yes, that is the top of a beanie. It's a feel-good story. It's a story nobody can be mad at. In this very divided world of ours, don't we all want to care for the beanie of a hat?
Water and food, they're like, it's not eating. The poor thing must be really malnourished.
What's going on in the water there?
I know. We've got a huge show today. Jessica Capshaw is here.
Will be here.
And Auto Week wraps up with a look at the perfect family vehicles.
Plus, later, we will reveal my March stump mark averages.
Oh my God.
It's been a great month. We'll find out.
I think it's going to be a banner month for Mark,
Yes.
and there's going to be no living with him for the month of April.
We'll see how I do today.
Okay.
Let's see how I do
Let's
today.
see how you do it. All right. It is that time. It's time to play.
Let's say hello to Norma Duro from Claremont, Florida, who watches the show on WESH. Good morning. Norma, how are you?
I'm doing great. Good Friday, Kelly. Birthday blessings to you, Mark.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Well, you know how this game works. You've given us 2 statements. One is true, one is false. I have 60 seconds to decide which is the truth, and if you stump me, you're going to win this.
And this.
All right. Here are Norma's 2 statements. My great-grandmother was an inventor.
Ooh.
Or my grandfather is in the Fishing Hall of Fame.
Okay. The great-grandmother was an inventor. An inventor of what? See, that seems like it's true, because she can be an inventor, but that also could be a lie. So it depends on the story she tells. What did she invent? Because we all kind of invent stuff in our own heads. So technically, that's a vague thing. So this is kind of null and void. Fishing Hall of Fame is a fact. Yes or no? My great grandmother was an inventor. Sure. What did she invent? Like, what does it like? It would have been nice if she said she's a licensed and recognized inventor of a trademarked item or something. I'm going to say that the great grandmother was an inventor was a lie, because it seems like the Hall of Fame, I don't know. The grandfather is in the Fishing Hall of Fame. That could be true. But like, if that's false, then that means the inventor has to be true, and you can't prove that that's true. So that means that the grandfather has to be true, and the great grandmother is false. Because even if in her head it's true, it's technically false. So I'm going to say that, I mean, this is science. My great grandmother was an inventor has to be false, and the grandfather in the Fishing Hall of Fame is true. I think I'm like 42, 9. I think I'm like 29 out of my last 42, 28 out of my last 42. Let's see what we got.
Oh,
All right. Well, what did your grandmother or great grandmother invent?
Well, she invented what was then called the window cleaning device.
Okay.
Today we know it as a windshield wiper.
Wow. What year? Well, yeah. What year was that?
It was back in the 1900s, early 1900s. She actually was not available to get, or she didn't get the patent on it. Back then, it was a man's world, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
we still know exactly what you mean.
So your great grandmother invented the windshield wiper for cars, and when she invented it and she used it, basically a man stole her idea and got it and trademarked it, or she couldn't get it trademarked because she has to get it because of women's rights and like a certain, like, women weren't even around to vote. So for her to get it trademarked, she had to get it trademarked, but in her husband's name. And back then, what the government say? Well, we get to own part of it too, or the bank or something, but it had to be so her husband did. So that's what I would ask: did her husband or your great grandfather get credited with the trademark because it had to be in a man's name, or he had a co-sign or something? Because I know there was a movie about the windshield wiper being invented by someone, and it was stolen by like Chrysler or Chevrolet, and how they stole it from, like, I think another woman. But I believe that movie was about, it wasn't the windshield wiper that was invented, that was stolen in the 50s. It was the windshield wiper going at I think it's, what's the word, oscillating or something, where instead of the wipers going like this. Wait. Like this, she had it where it went like this. So that way, instead of going like this and then rain and then going back forth and then more rain, all this rain would go. So she made it where one would go down and then the other one would come up. So it would be like this. So you would constantly get clear vision. And that technology was stolen by Chevrolet and like trademarked, and they put it on their vehicles. And there's a whole movie about it. I don't know what it's called. It wasn't great, but it seemed very interesting, and it was good enough where you will be entertained.
We still know exactly what you mean.
Exactly, yeah. She was
Lucky Kelly's married to a woman.
Into the Inventors Hall of Fame. I believe that was around early 2000s.
Oh,
my dad and his family have shared the story several times.
Congratulations on that.
If it's true.
If it's true.
If it's true.
And your grandfather, what Fishing Hall of Fame and why?
He's a great fisherman.
Uh-huh.
He was inducted into 2 Fishing Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
The first was the
lie.
National Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame, and about 10 years later, he was inducted into the Texas Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame. He just had an uncanny knack of knowing where to catch the fish and when.
It is a knack, for sure. It is a knack. Gosh, I want the first one to be true. But man, I've never heard that story, that it was invented by a woman. And I know a lot of facts about cars.
You do?
Yeah.
Just because it's Auto Week doesn't mean you know a lot of facts about it.
Right. And just because you Googled a bunch of stuff like 4 hours ago, and just because you Googled stuff about cars and windshield wipers 2 hours ago, doesn't make you an expert. It doesn't mean you know a lot about cars. He's so full of shit. This dude's a fucking liar. And it's not like he's just a cute, he's so cute. Oh, he's just like a kid lying. Like eventually when the kid says like, hey, your car like exploded. Oh, I was just lying. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, Dito. Like, this isn't like, oh, it's charming that he's lying. No, it's fucking annoying and it's fucking sick. And it's fucking annoying and it's rude.
I know everything about cars.
The great grandmother's
so I'm
alive.
Say I do know there's more than one fishing hall of fame, freshwater, and another one. I know that.
Plus, this girl sounds old.
You know what? I've won so much this March. I don't really care. So I'm gonna say
this woman sounds old. She sounds like even if she's 60, that her great grandmother would have been born. Would have been born in like the 1870s or 80s. She could have invented this in her 40s or 50s. Okay.
I like the first one. I'm going to say your great-grandmother was an inventor.
That's incorrect. You are wrong, Mark.
And I'm right again. Common sense.
Sorry, Mark.
No clues, no questions, no help, no advantage, no internet. That's 30 for 43, baby. And did you suck it? Chupala.
But you see, I wanted it to be true because I am pro-woman.
I appreciate that.
I'm pro-woman. I'm essentially pro-woman.
Essentially.
No, I am. I am very pro-woman.
I know you
Well,
are.
you played that game well. You sounded very like.
You should have known that was false because women that were born in the 19th century weren't allowed to invent shit. The only things they were allowed to do was to have sex, give birth, cook, and clean. The right way. The way life should still be.
Both of them were very true.
Very convincing.
Yeah, very convincing.
Like a
Well,
maid.
congratulations. You won the mug. You won the
Thank you.
Now let's see if we can win you a valuable trip. It's time for Warming Up Travel Trivia.
Oh, there you go.
Our trivia dancer today is Jessica Benavides from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Now this is where I'm going to dance and I'm going to imitate this girl from New Mexico. You rate me on a scale of 1 to 100.
Valuable trip. It's time for Warming Up Travel Trivia.
Our trivia dancer today is Jessica Benavides from Albuquerque, New Mexico. All right, Deja, spin that wheel to see what else Norma's playing for.
I give myself a 100. With confidence.
All right, Deja, spin that wheel to see what else Norma's playing for. Okay, Norma, here's a great prize. A trip for two to the Los Establos Boutique Inn in Panama. 8 days, 7 nights in a premium suite. It includes 3 meals daily.
All the meals.
That's right. 1 excursion per day. It's a prize valued at $8,000. You have 20 seconds and only one guest, Norma. Good luck.
All right, Norma, here we go. Earlier this week, in what type of restaurant did Kelly say she once worked?
A pizza place. She was a waitress and she gave blowjobs in the back kitchen for $10. $15 for the whole shebang.
It was news to me, by the way.
It was just for a summer.
Pizza place. Come on. She's Italian. Just take a
We
guess.
talked about it there.
Come on, you
I'm
fucking
going to
shit.
say deli.
No, you goddamn fuck you.
Good
Good
guess.
guess.
You old
Yeah.
whore.
Pizza shop.
Pizza shop.
Oh, pizza. Oh.
Yeah.
And I love pizza.
Yeah, you go down to South Jersey, you throw a rock, and you hit a pizza shop.
Or a deli.
Or a deli. You're right.
A deli.
Yeah,
Sandwich
or a
shop.
Wawa.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah,
Sorry,
just,
Norma, but the
well.
exciting
Shut up,
news.
Gelman.
I get a t-shirt and I'm excited about
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
My gosh. Wear it with pride.
I'm going to handle my arousal with your t-shirt, with your face, Mark.
No, you get the t-shirt. It's
The
t-shirt and the mug. Exclusive.
Right.
Priceless.
Right. And also, you want to hear the good news?
What's
You'll
the
be
good
entered.
news?
You'll be entered into our grand prize drawing for a Caribbean vacation valued at approximately $14,000.
Excellent.
You and a lucky member of our studio audience will receive a $500 Disney Plus gift card to subscribe to, and a Disney bundle and stream Hulu on Disney Plus. So you get all of that all
For a year.
Thank you.
By the way, now
Yeah, you get it all for a year, and then after that year expires, they get you addicted, and then when it expires, they charge $20 a month.
on Disney Plus, the Hulu tile is on Disney
On
Plus.
Disney Plus, so you don't have to
So-
you can watch The Bear and Mandalorian without
Yes.
logging out to right.
Yeah, and Shogun, which I hear is really, really
And
good.
show, right,
Yeah.
that's
Of
right.
course. Which you hear,
Norma,
but you haven't
please
seen
pick a
it,
number between
because you're not
1
going to
and
watch it
100.
because you know it's not good.
11.
All right, Norma, better luck next time when we return.
Still ahead on Live, we wrap up Auto Week with a look at the latest in family vehicles. Andrea Riseborough. And coming up next, Jessica Capshaw.
You give.
She says a fucking deli.
Welcome back. On Monday's show, Emma Roberts will be here.
And social media sensation Corey B is opening up a viral peanut butter test kitchen.
Just for you because you love peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
And a performance by the music group Bare Naked Ladies. Get ready, everybody. She is back as Dr. Arizona Robbins on the hit medical series Grey's Anatomy. Please welcome the very talented and gorgeous Jessica Capshaw. This reminds me, this dress should be what's that thing that the royals go, the royal ascot, where the ladies wear beautiful lady dresses and the men wear, you know what I'm talking about?
Fascinators.
Yeah,
Women wear the
fascinator.
fascinators.
Yeah.
Fascinating that it's called a fascinator.
Yes, it is
I
fascinating.
agree.
This dress makes you sit like a lady
It does.
Lady dress, lady.
and wave a little different.
So mom of four, we were talking about this backstage.
I know.
Kelly gave you the inspiration
well,
to go for the fourth?
inspiration? I mean, yes, because look at her. I mean, look at all the things that she's doing and everything else. But
But I only had 3.
yes, I know. To wait for it. We were here. We had a third. It was like, ooh, should we? And you were like, four, like three's good. You were like, I wish I'd had a fourth. And there's nothing that turns on the jets like the idea that you might future regret something.
Right.
So I went home and I was like,
We should
honey,
have fourth.
we have to have a fourth.
I said the same thing when we got home, and he did not listen.
No. I know. What are their ages now?
They are now top to bottom. We have a boy and 3 girls. Boy is 16,
Okay,
Luke is
wow.
16, Eve is 13, Poppy is 11, and Josephine is 7. Oh, baby.
Yes,
Beautiful.
they're great ages.
Any budding entertainers? Anybody in the family business?
You know what? They are all storytellers, but they
Okay.
tell stories in different ways. Luke is this incredible and passionate and very skilled fisherman. And I'm telling you, when he talks about his fishing adventures, they are stories.
Yeah.
And then Eve is into all things and infinitely curious. And in her understanding of all things, there's story. And Poppy is definitely like came out like she doesn't walk a straight line. She's got that like wiggle, and she makes these movies. All the kids these days with the cap cuts, and they make these films. And then usually her stars are her sisters.
Yeah.
And then Josephine again, like the youngest, just sort of ages up, and so she's a 7-year-old teenager.
Right. Of course she is.
Yes.
Now, they have to be Swifties.
Are you asking me that as a serious
I'm stating it.
We are all Swifties. I am a Swiftie. They are Swifties. We are
Right.
Swift Nation.
Swift Nation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys were West Coasters, and now you're on the East Coast?
Yes, we did the COVID
Move.
reconsideration. I think everybody went like,
right.
where do I live?
Do they like the East Coast?
Love.
Yeah.
Love.
Yes.
Love.
You're East
I'm
Coast.
so an East Coaster.
Yeah.
I'm really a Midwesterner who became an East Coaster and then went to the West Coast and then just came back to the East Coast.
So, if you could only pick one coast for the rest of your life, where are you going?
That's a rough question.
It's a
Yeah.
crazy question, but I asked
You
it.
only
I'm
have one
feeling
choice.
You did,
living on the edge.
Bad choice.
Well, East.
East.
Well,
Yeah.
I love the West Coast and I love all of it. But there's something. Here's what the main takeaway within the first 6 months of moving back. When I looked at Christopher, I was like, "Wow, I really miss this." People are so direct on the East Coast.
That's
In
right.
Los Angeles, it's like the big joke, right? Like, did you like that movie? Yeah, I loved it. They didn't like it. They didn't even like it.
They didn't see
right?
it.
They didn't even like it.
Right.
The East Coast, I remember like getting here and I was asking about someone and
For me, it would be Europe. What would you, if you could choose one coast forever, what coast would it be? Europe. It'd be neither. It'd be Europe. I mean, you want me to tell you the east or west coast of Europe? I mean, honestly, it'd probably be somewhere. I'd really have to look. I mean, I'd want to be somewhere by the water and somewhere close to the Spanish-Italian border. So I guess that'd be like, I mean, Spain and Italy are connected, right? So wherever the border is and then it's close to the water, but also maybe not too far if I want to go to like downtown, or not downtown, but like Rome or Madrid or something like that, or I don't know. So I'd have to like do the research and find out what town fits the criteria I'm looking for. But if I had to choose between East and West Coast, it'd probably be the East. Well, are you saying East or West Coast or New York or LA? Because East or West Coast means I could travel from Portland and California to Arizona and Washington up to like Vancouver and kind of get that West Coast. And is Vegas included in West Coast? In like New York, Philly, Jersey, down to like Washington, D.C., and Florida and Miami, that's all East Coast. So what are we talking here? East Coast, West Coast, or just LA or New York? Because if it's East Coast, West Coast, it would be the West Coast, because I could still go up north for winter and get good Mexican food in Arizona. There's really not a lot of good Mexican food on the East Coast. But if it was just New York or LA, it would be New York, because I just couldn't see myself for the rest of the life never having snow for Christmas. I would need snow for Christmas if I can only choose one place. Plus, in New York, you could like, if you're drunk, you could just like walk home or catch a cab. Where I'm sure you could catch a cab in LA and you can get Ubers and stuff. So I know it's not a thing, but it's expensive. So if I was ever drunk, if you get drunk a lot in New York, you could take the bus and the train and save yourself some money. So it's a little more condensed, and snow. That's pretty much it. And I think the food's better in New York. The pizza's definitely better, but the food scene's better here than in LA.
on the East Coast.
Like you say in LA, they're like, oh, there's lots of good places in LA. Yeah, but they're like in Orange County and Malibu and Beverly Hills. Nah, it'd have to be New York.
People are so direct on the East Coast.
Well, it's like
in
a
Los
still
Angeles,
vacation.
It's like the big joke, right? Like, did you like that movie? Yeah, I loved it. They didn't like it. They didn't even like it.
They didn't see it.
They didn't even like it.
Right.
The East Coast, I remember like getting here and I was asking about someone and I said, well, what do you think of her? And they were like, oh, she's really nice. She's terrible at her job. And I'm like, all right.
East Coast.
Okay. But I appreciated it because we can be two things. We can be a great person and bad at our job.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So be friends with her, but maybe don't hire her.
Yeah, amazing.
All right, we need to go to break. When we come back, Jessica tells us about her return to Grey's Anatomy.
Still ahead on Live. Andrea Andrea Riseborough.
You know what it is? That's all the Italian and Irish immigrants. You know what I mean? It's the West Coast, especially if you're talking LA, it's such a melting pot of different people from different cultures. And the love for money and greed and power and recognition and being famous is so prevalent that everyone lies to each other to try to get what they want. So it's just a bunch of liars. And everyone just like, no one feels comfortable being themselves because you have to like be a Californian. You know what I mean? But here, all the Italian immigrants and all the Irish immigrants, I think that are here, really set up a precedence of being brutally honest.
70% off carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Reserve your free in-home appointment at luna.com or call
773-202 Luna.
Dr. Bailey, given that we're close to finishing our logs, would it make sense to focus on that instead of wherever we're going?
It would make sense for you to trust that anything I ask of you will make you a better doctor.
Shut up. Oh, another new class.
Oh, Dr. Bailey, just in time. Shall we begin?
Yes. Take a seat, learn something.
Oh, there's a nice double picture. Oh. Great, great. And let me guess, all gone. What are you doing here? Oh, isn't that great? So let me guess, what'd you do? You took away an access, didn't you? You son of a bitch. You fucking son of a bitch. Let me guess, it's the one from the 14th. I swear to fucking God, man. There's just going to be a whole fucking week missing that.
After 6 years, she's back as pediatric surgeon Dr. Arizona Robbins on the medical drama Grey's Anatomy, which is, what is it, 20 years?
It's 20.
It's 20 years? Well, how is that possible?
I don't know. I don't know.
What was it like being back?
It was like going home to, like, you know, when you move around and you go back to a home that you lived in for a really long time, and you're so overjoyed to see different things and how things have changed, or people that are new.
Yeah.
And then there's people, I mean, the first day, all you just heard was like, you know, different squeals and screams, because I'd run into one other person that I hadn't seen, because, you know, you become a family, you know.
Right.
And yet the circumstance where you might be with each other is sort of not so much outside of that workplace.
Right.
So going home, you feel like you're home.
And now the actor medical interns, do they all look like kids to you?
You're not wrong.
Yeah. I have to say this, like, I watch Grey's Anatomy and I'm always like, why is everybody so good looking in this hospital, right?
But yeah.
But if you've like spent any time in a hospital, recently, like we've, had like whether it's like one of our kids or our parents, like you go into a
Yeah,
hospital
the residents are good looking.
and you're like, why is everybody good looking in this real life hospital?
Because they all grew up watching Grey's Anatomy. They were like, this is my shot.
There's a Grey's Anatomy effect.
There is.
What can you expect from your character this season?
You know what? I came back when I talked to Meg about coming back. She was so particular and so eloquent, and she said
they're all taking Botox. That's why, because they can afford Botox, and now they can afford Ozempic. All these doctors and residents, when they're in their 20s, they're taking Botox and Ozempic from the start because that's just how life is to them ever since they were kids. So that's their normal. They're just doing what they think normal adults do. That's what you do. You're a kid, a teenager, then you become an adult, and you take Ozempic and Botox, just like everyone else. It's just like my great-grandma did when she invented the windshield wiper on a plantation. Like, no, it's not true. But they don't know that because they're dumb. But
the
they'll save
reason
your
why
life.
we want Arizona to come back for this is for some joy.
Yeah.
And a little bit of badass.
Yeah.
And so this character sort of was designed to do these incredible Herculean surgeries, but sort of have this joy within her. And I think she was a person first and a doctor second. But I don't know. It was just sort of that coming together of the joy and the expertise and the mastery. And so she got to come back and sort of.
Well, we're glad you're back. We're
so
also glad
excited.
you're back east
Yes,
as well.
yes. We're going to make so many
Yeah. Grey's Anatomy airs Thursday nights on ABC. Coming up next, Andrea Riseborough.
Monday Live, Emma Roberts.
The K&G Spring Dress and Suit event is here. Shop top brands for less, with women's Easter suits starting at $59.99.
I love that. Yeah. They needed some joy. Yeah. And some badass. Oh, yeah. I know.
Faster, more effective method to alleviate need.
Oh, my God. Who's this guy? Is this Andrea Riseborough?
That's like
Never heard of her.
I can't believe I made it. You can actually get here in like 18 minutes if you ignore the lights.
Oh, good to know.
I'm sorry. I should have asked to come. I was standing on ceremony.
I'm sorry. I would have asked you to come. I almost asked you to come.
It's exhausting, isn't it? Being in love.
That was a look at Masterpiece miniseries Alice and Jack, starring our next guest. Please welcome the incredibly talented Academy Award nominee, Andrea Riseborough.
It's so funny. I up until recently, and I mean a few minutes ago backstage, I thought you were American. So imagine my surprise.
I gotta tell you, first off, the movie To Leslie, where you got an Academy Award nomination.
Oh my gosh,
you were absolutely so well deserved. You were so fantastic, really fantastic.
That movie shook us to our core. We were shaken. You're brilliant. It's hard to believe.
And you thought she was American.
I thought you were American. I'm looking at you, and it's hard to believe that's the same person.
It was a really meaningful experience because I think lots of people's lives are touched by alcoholism. So a lot of people, it meant a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah. You really are a master of accents. Is that something that comes naturally to you? Do you work with an accent coach or?
I trained at drama school at a place called RADA, which I was told backstage it's far more fancy to say the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art.
Oh, wait a minute.
Because it sounds,
RADA means,
sounds a bit better. And we did a lot of accent work that was fascinating, phonetics and all sorts of different things. But I think if you have an ear for it, you kind of have an ear for it, and if you don't, you don't. I'm quite musical, so that might perhaps help.
You sort of like brushed over the whole RADA of it all. That is that's a very rigorous program. It's very few people get accepted into that drama program. What was it like for you to, find out that you've gotten accepted?
It was so strange. I had my final audition. You have a process of auditioning, and my final audition was on a Saturday, and I came home back on the train from London to Newcastle that night with my mum was with me, and I went to bed, and I woke up, and the principal was calling, offering me a place, which was like just wonderful. And I went downstairs and I said, "Mum, guess who's going to RADA?" And she went, "Who?" But it wasn't a dry joke, it was just sheer disbelief.
Yeah, that's incredible. It's good to have a parent that will keep your feet planted firmly on the ground. You're also in this HBO limited series, The Regime, which I love. You play Agnes. How would you describe Agnes and her? We're shipping.
Yeah, that's exactly how I describe it.
Yes, yes.
A bit dour.
Long suffering. She's the only one tenuously linked to sanity in this extraordinarily insane political bubble that is the palace, which is where the regime is based.
Yeah, she really is extraordinary. So we want to talk about Alice and Jack. You've been working on this project for how long?
For 5 years.
That's incredible.
Yeah, the script came. We haven't been shooting it that long. We're not really slow.
Right.
The development.
We just spoke really, really slowly. It came to me 5 years ago, and it was such a beautiful piece. I had the first episode, the final episode, and an idea of what might happen in the middle. And it was something that was so, love is such a mess.
Yes.
And we're all such a mess when we're in love. And it's so rarely pans out the way you might think it. It's great to watch, romantic comedies are fantastic and they serve their purpose. They give us hope. But, 10, 15 years down the line after watching a struggling protagonist in a 3-bedroom Upper West Side apartment, you kind of, who meets a billionaire and everything works out fantastically well. You just feel a little lonely.
Right.
And this made me feel less alone. And it made me laugh hysterically because my character, Alice, has been through an awful lot of stuff, and it's nice. She's a survivor who's allowed to have her own love story still. And it looks wonky and it's imperfect.
And it takes place over the course of 15 years.
It does.
This relationship spans these complicated people who find their way to each other and away from each other and show up at the wrong times in each other's lives.
Exactly. And I think estrangement is a huge part of love. Sometimes you don't see each other for 3 or 4 years and you stand on the ceremony of life and just let day-to-day life happen. And it's crazy how time passes. But I shot it with Donald Gleeson, the brilliant Donald Gleeson. We play opposite each other. He plays Jack. And we've known each other actually for sort of over 15 years, about the same time Alice and Jack have known one another. So I can think back to our 20s and I remember his face, and I can think back to our 30s, I remember his face. We've shot different projects over the year, and I've seen him years, and I've seen him grow up as an actor and a person. That's been nice. So it was very special.
When you meet people at different phases in their lives, and maybe one person is ready and one person isn't, or one person is married and the other person isn't, and just that sort of...
Yes, and I could never have done that had I not been so in love myself. And that came to me... I mean, I've had many relationships in my life, but really my great love came to me 5 years ago, as did this script. So it all kind of fell into place. And I'd never felt like such a weirdo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're strange when you're in love. You can't make sense of things. They really mess it up.
Well, thank you for being here. Alice and Jack, Sundays, 10 p.m. on Masterpiece and streaming on the PBS app. Next, two-size vehicles for the whole families together.
Join us at the audience for our special quiz show. Go to our website at livewithkellyandmark.com for all the details. Live's bringing the stars in April. And next live,
Something's happening to me.
American Horror Stories, Emma Roberts, plus the Bare Naked Ladies perform.
It is a nightclub in here.
Week-long car.
Oh, what happened to Michael Muzio?
Today we wrap up our week-long car segments with a look at family vehicles featured in this year at the New York International Auto Show. Car and Driver's contributing editor Alan Taylor is back. He's joining us once again. Welcome back, Alan.
All right, what do we have? Well, so, sedans used to be the meat and potatoes of the auto industry. Today, it's SUVs.
Yes.
And here is the new Chevy Traverse. Look at how beautiful it is. It's a Chevy Traverse Z71, which is the off-road package. It's all been redesigned, and it's got a couple different engines available. But look at the interior. This looks like a Cadillac inside, right?
It really does.
It's absolutely beautiful. Huge screens for entertainment. 4 captain's chairs. You can tow with it because it's a good-sized vehicle. 3 rows. The 3-row SUV is so important. But look at how beautiful the inside is, right?
It's really nice.
Very comfortable, very nice, big sunroofs and everything. Good fuel economy. But guess what? This starts around $37,000, right?
Wow.
Now, this one's going to be more like 55, but that's right. All right. So what we have next here is the new Acura, which is called a ZDX.
Nothing like a good American Chevy to be less than 40 grand for that type of quality vehicle. Chevy, you can reach me if you want to Venmo me for an endorsement deal. A Mazda, I bet this is going to be 45K, 45.6, maybe 43,400 or something. We're playing Price is Right. Look at that. Play along. What's your guess for the Mazda?
And it's the first ever EV from Acura.
Wow.
Oh, that's actually kind of ugly.
I like this color a lot. Yeah. Beautiful color.
Your jacket almost fell.
I know.
How big that reveal
It's coming off.
Wow.
It is a 325 estimated mile range, but it's got solid 100 horsepower. That's why it's of course the Type S. And look at the interior. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it really does.
11-inch screen. You got 2 11-inch screens in there. But you're talking about rear-wheel drive to begin with, and if you want, you can get into all-wheel drive. And it has hands-free cruise. So you literally, it's like Super Cruise with General Motors, and this is a combination. GM and Acura kind of got together with this EV, so it has some of these cool,
and they made a baby.
These cool
You
things
just
that are
take your
available.
hands off
You
and-
can just
Like, what's the distance on the
steers itself.
So 325 miles, the 2 different batteries available. So it's about 65,000 to start.
Oh.
75,000
I didn't
with
know it was
this
electric.
package. But there's a $7,500 tax rebate because it is an electric vehicle. The first one from
If I knew it was electric, I would have said 55.
When we return, be around.
55, 55, 7.
A performance by Beer Naked Ladies.
Oh, this is the car. So with the 7,500 rebate, it would have been more like
There is power in silence.
56.
Lesson 3.
900.
Unlock the energy within.
Isn't that nice? A little way to give DMX's 22 children some money to split. Watch them all fight over it and end up hurting each other. Daddy would have wanted me to have it. I was Daddy's favorite. You were only Daddy's favorite until he found out about me. Well, he just found out about you after you were an adult, so you're not really his kid. Just biologically, psychologically.
This is a destination spot.
Hello, subscribers. Who want Disney Plus is here.
We're back with Alan Taylor, and we're checking out some new vehicles featured this week at New York's International Auto Show, which opens today. All right, what's next? What's next is the new Lexus TX 500H. Look at the size of this thing now. 3 rows.
3 rows.
With a hybrid.
Okay, so it's hybrid. It's not all electric, but still a Lexus hybrid new car. I bet this thing is with nothing 75. The one they're showing is around $90,000. $90,000 to $92,000, I bet, for the model they're showing right here. $90,650.
Okay.
Which is really important these days. Now, this has 366 horsepower with a hybrid. So you can tow like 5,000 pounds.
Right.
You're going to get all your family in there. The Lexus, so it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Look inside of this
Wow,
thing. It's just
5,000 pounds. That's like 350 million Kellys. Look at that butt.
Very fancy.
You have all the entertainment and all that. You got 27 miles per gallon combined, which is really important.
That
You buy
is
a big
important.
SUV, you a lot of times you lose something in the the size of it. So this one, 27 combined. That means city and highway. So a little better on the highway, a little less in the city.
Great.
Combined.
Nice.
Yeah. Hybrid from Lexus. Beautiful.
Incredible.
All right, this last one here.
That looks big.
This one is interesting. So Kia has a philosophy. It's called Opposites United. Which that's kind of nature and technology combined. So when you look at this, you're going to go, is it a minivan or is it an SUV? But here it is, the new Carnival.
Wow.
It's a 2025 model. So
It's enormous.
is it an SUV?
Yeah, or is it a minivan?
Or is it a minivan?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How do I get it?
This is what Mark Wahlberg has. I don't think so. I just made that up. But this Kia, this still might be for the vehicle, and I think this might be an affordable. Damn, this might actually be like less than 35,000. I mean, 33 grand. Actually, Kia's trying to make luxury more. You know what? I think it's still I'm going to say it's 39,995.
Yeah, there you go.
I need to almost rip the door.
It has literally, it's got like aircraft seats in it.
Do you see this?
Turbo hybrid on top of everything else.
Okay.
So now you get fantastic fuel economy. This is going to start in the mid to high 30s.
Yes.
And it's a 2025. Model. And you know, Kia just won.
Look at that. I said 34,000 and then I adjusted it to 39,995. So it seems like the base is around 34. And when you get it fully loaded for it, I fucking nailed it. I won. Bob Barker. Can I get Manuela Arbolez to give me a ride? And then afterwards drive me in this car?
Car of the year with the EV9 just a little bit ago at the New York Auto Show. And they're calling this, car and driver calls this a kind of a cross between a Telluride and an EV9 because it's got the best of everything and it's a beautiful machine. Again, you're going to mid-30s, mid to high 30s.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah. All right, thanks, Alan. That was the best for my first Auto Show week. It was awesome, man. Back and see us. Thank you. All right, next it's time for Stuck More Averages. Stick around.
This is so nice.
Stay social with us. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. See all your favorite moments and anything you might have missed.
Hey, it's
See it live and in person. You can check out all the stars. Be part of the show. And maybe even win a prize. Don't miss out on all the fun. Visit our website and get your tickets for Live with Kelly and Mark now.
okay. You know, March has come to an end, and we know what that means. It's time to reveal Mark's magical March Madness mug results.
Dim the lights.
Let's see how you did in March. Now, judging from your February numbers, you can only go up from there. You had a terrible, terrible February. Your February, as you recall, your average was a 0.45.
Oof, bad.
But you have made a
45%.
roaring comeback. Your March average is
57.
0.736.
That's how.
Almost 75% of the time.
No way. Whoa. It's also almost 50%. Why do you round up?
Your career average. I cannot believe we are counting this stuff. Your career average at the end of March is of now 0.564.
Okay,
up from
okay, all right.
0.550.
Yes! Better than a coin toss. Better than a coin toss.
Whatever happened to
No
baseball?
coin toss as accurate as Mark. Okay, don't forget to tune in on Monday when a whole new month begins, and we will keep track of every coin toss. Also on Monday's show, Emma Roberts will be here.
Yes, and a performance by Bare Naked Ladies.
Corey B experiments with peanut butter.
And we want to wish everyone a very, very happy Easter.
And a happy birthday to you.
Aw, thank you.
He goes, better than a coin toss. Whatever happened to baseball player? If I was a baseball player and that was my batting average, I'd be in the Hall of Fame. You'd be like the best hitter in the history of the 150-year-old game, 130-year-old. Like, what are you talking about? 130 years, you're the best hitter ever. He finally took my advice. I said it's more like a free throw percentage. But now he's like, oh, better than a coin toss. Boo. Actually, I want to see the price of that car again. Because I missed the price of the Mazda or the Acura that I guessed was like 60 something. You can rewind and find out what I picked, but I'm not going to watch this on the video. The Lexus. I said, oh, 90, 100 grand. Well, son of a bitch.
EV9, just a little bit ago at the New York Auto Show. You got 27 miles per gallon combined, which is really important. You buy a big SUV, you know, a lot of times you lose something in the, the size of it. So this one, 27 combined. That means city and highway. So a little better on the highway, a little less in the city.
Great.
Combined.
Nice. Yeah.
Hybrid from Lexus. Beautiful.
Incredible.
All right, this last one here.
That looks big.
This one is interesting. So Kia has a philosophy. It's called Opposites United.
Okay.
Which that's kind of nature and technology combined. So when you look at this, you're going to go, is it a minivan or is it an SUV? But here it is, the new Carnival.
Wow.
It's a 2025 model. So
it's enormous.
Is it an SUV?
Yeah. Or is it a minivan?
Or is it a minivan?
Wait,
So,
what?
Yeah.
How do I get in here?
There you go.
Okay.
I need to almost rip the door.
It has literally, it's got like,
I guess they didn't reveal the price of the Lexus for the same reason they didn't reveal the price of the Porsche on Monday's show. Too expensive. They don't want to scare you.
New vehicles featured this week at New York City.
They want you to think that it's a price you can afford. So when you walk in and they tell you it's $110,000, they still have you trapped in their offices. They lock the doors and they try to convince you, oh, well, if you just make payments, all you got to do is put $20,000 down and you can get a loan. And in fact, we'll cover like 10% of the loan. 50% of it is paid back, of your loan is paid back or something and within 2 years. And so you get a loan from the bank. We'll cover the interest if you pay off half the car within 2 years. And all these things, they try to trick you.
International Auto Show, which opens today. All right, what's next?
What's next is the new Lexus TX 500H. Look at the size of this thing now. 3 rows.
3 rows.
With a hybrid.
Okay.
Which is really important these days. Now, this has 366 horsepower with a hybrid, so you can tow like 5,000 pounds.
Right.
You're going to get all your family in there. It's a Lexus, so it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Look inside of this thing. It's just absolutely
very
beautiful.
fancy.
You have all the entertainment and all that. You got 27 miles per gallon combined, which is really important.
That
You buy
is
a big
important.
SUV, you know, a lot of times you lose something in the, the size of it. So this one, 27 combined. That means city and highway. So a little better on the highway, a little less in the city.
Great.
Combined.
Nice.
Yeah. Hybrid from Lexus. Beautiful.
Incredible.
All right, this last one here.
That looks big.
This one is interesting. So Kia has a philosophy.
That looks big.
11-inch screens in there. So 11-inch screens in there. But you're talking about rear-wheel drive to begin with, and if you want, you can get into all-wheel drive. And it has hands-free cruise. So you literally, it's like Super Cruise with General Motors, and this is a combination. GM and Acura kind of got together with this EV, so it has some of these cool stuff, things that are available.
Hands off
You can just
what's the distance on the
steers itself?
So 325 miles, the 2 different batteries available. So it's about $65,000 to start, $75,000 with this package. But there's a $7,500 tax rebate because it is an electric vehicle. The first one from Acura. Turbo.
Okay, I was wrong. I thought the fully loaded was 64 minus the rebate was around 57 or something. And I thought I got that right. I was wrong. The base was 64. So I'm wrong on the Acura one. Apologize. Please don't dislike my video and like the video. And check out my Twitch.
Okay. You know, March has come to an end, and we know what that means. It's time to reveal Mark's magical March Madness mug results.
Give the lights.
Let's see how you did in March. Now, judging from your February numbers, you can only go up from there. You had a terrible, terrible February. Your February, as you recall, your average was a 0.45.
Oof, bad.
But you have made a roaring comeback. Your March average is 0.736.
Almost 75% of the time. Almost 75%. A March record. March record.
Your career average, I cannot believe we are counting this stuff. Your career average at the end of March is of now 0.564, up from 0.550.
Yes! Better than a coin toss. Better than a coin toss.
There's no coin toss as accurate as Mark. Okay, don't forget to tune in on Monday when a whole new month begins, and we will keep track of every Also on Monday's show, Emma Roberts will be here.
Yes, and a performance by Bare Naked Ladies.
The experiments with peanut butter.
And we wish everyone a very, very happy Easter.
And a happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you.
Someone's getting anal sex.
That one of your many strengths as a surrogate is your connection to young people. I believe that to be true.
Someone's getting anal. Happy birthday, Mark.
It's live.
You know what that means? Cosplay. That means Kelly's going to dress up as, you guessed it, world famous musical artist Lola Consuelos. And Mark's going to get to have sexual intercourse with a grown-ass woman that looks like a teenage boy dressed up as a 40-year-old woman. So that means he's going to get to have sex with a 55-year-old woman that looks like a 13-year-old boy dressing up as an 80-year-old woman wearing a dark wig.
Eagles feature.
560 by most insurance plan.
Let's see what's on the View before it cuts. Oh, no. Nikki Haley. What? Is she back?
Losing a race? Weeks after omitting slavery as a cause of the Civil War, Nikki Haley's latest claim has her under fire again.
We've never been a racist country.
Why is it so hard for some Republicans to own up to America's history of racism?
Well, what I said was we've had challenges with how race was viewed.
Then,
I know what she's saying. She's saying that we weren't racist in the past, right? Because here's what she's saying. Her point is that what she's trying to say is that Americans weren't racist because they didn't know what racism was. They were just doing what they were taught by their parents and what they were taught by their grandparents and what they saw their parents and grandparents aunts, uncles, and their community do, right? So that's what she's trying to say. It's like you can't be racist when you don't know that you're being racist. If anything, we were very mean and rude to people, right? But racism wasn't really something that was introduced to these people, to racists, to the vocabulary of racists. So it's not like someone told them, "Hey, you're being like." Now people will tell their kids, "Hey, that's racist. Make sure you don't say that in public because that's wrong." People just said it because that was just what you said. And they were just kind of like they grew up listening to that, hearing that, watching that, seeing it, and they just copied it. And no one ever told them, don't do that, or told them that's wrong. They thought they were doing right. So even though what they were doing was rude and mean and wrong, they weren't racist because they didn't know what a racist was. I think that's what Nikki Haley is trying to say. And all Republicans that are of that mind thought, I'm just a neutral Bob job, getting a hand can up in my stump rump. Purple Party people eater. So you could give me a thumbs up just because Kamala Harris is a beautiful Indian American woman.
Race was viewed.
Then, Vice President Kamala Harris returns to the table to take on the hottest topics in election 2024. From the battle over border security to Bidenomics and the president's claim that the future of democracy is at.
Okay.
Among Latinos,
That's
among
it.
Black voters.
146 is done.
Nikki
Season
Haley.
2.
Mm.
Love you. My bunghole has hemorrhoids.